fire.
Now, this is a question I have for you. Is I think a lot of people here, it's often said that fear has killed more dreams than failure ever will.
Oh, sure.
So people who are afraid of maybe leaving that job, or afraid to go to Paris to take the job, or afraid to... How have you battled fear in your career?
Probably I'm just stupid. I mean, I don't know. I just always know it's going to work out. I know that it's going to work out. I mean, I said to people after I left Hilton, I got out of the Army and it worked out. I left Hilton. There was life after Hilton. There was life after Marriott. There was life after Disney. Now I hope there's life after life.
Is the idea that it would work out based off of just this optimism, or is it based off of maybe a religious faith you have, or what? Where does that come from?
I think I think I just know that I can always get something going.
Okay.
And I always have. And the more you get things going, the more you know you can. And then all of a sudden people start thinking I really knew something they didn't know. I tell people in my speeches, I said, I know things you don't know, and I know things you should know. And the reason I know them, I've been through the trail. I've been down that path.
So if I'm watching this right now and I'm saying, I have this fear that it's not going to work out, and I agree, every successful person I've ever interviewed, every successful person I've ever met, whether it's the founder of Hobby Lobby or yourself or founders of big companies, it seems like all of them have that belief that you can't connect the dots moving forward, but you just have to know that it's going to happen. How would you encourage somebody to get out of that if they're kind of in fear? How would you encourage them to get out of that mindset of fear?
Yeah, they may need a psychiatrist. I don't know what's caused that. And a lot of that is caused by the way they were raised, or they have insecurities and they're afraid. People who won't move to another state, they won't move to an international assignment, they won't leave their company. You got to be careful where you get stuck. Because if you get yourself stuck, sometimes it's too late to move. You get 5 kids and a big house and you hate what you're doing, it's hard to get out of that. So stay in an apartment and don't get in. Early on, you got to decide. Early on, are you happy doing what you're doing? I mean, do you like it? And early on, I love the hospitality business, so I knew there's always a job. But people, I hear this all the time. My wife won't move. I can't move. We live near our parents. And then you end up with 40 years of waking up every morning, not enjoying what you're doing. It affects your health. It affects your relationship. You end up getting a divorce. Your wife leaves you. I mean, it's a lot of bad things happen when you don't wake up excited about what you're doing every day, because that's...
Well, if you had to give somebody advice, I know, in my career since I've been in business, my son was born without the ability to see. We've had partners do weird, crazy things. We've had health issues. And I know everybody I've ever met who's a successful entrepreneur has adversity they deal with. What would be your advice for somebody who's having a hard time with adversity to plunge through these setbacks and failures?
Well, I think the biggest thing, people have got to quit underestimating what they can do. And if you need help, go find it. Maybe it's watching movies and these films and thrive, or maybe it's going and talking to somebody who can kind of redirect you. I redirect a lot of people who are in a position they don't like, and they ask for my help on how they can get in, what they can do, what should they do to prepare to get a job at Disney or to Hilton. And I know, and they don't know. And so I just help them. And so go get an expert. It's like my computer. When it's down, I don't try to fix it. I go get an expert. I have a trainer that when I lift weights by myself, I get hurt.
Right.
He doesn't get me hurt because he knows what he's doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So don't try to do it by yourself, and go find the help. And sometimes you just need some encouragement and somebody helping you open the doors, And
so don't get stuck, and reach out to some help from advisors. It sounds like
and be careful who are your friends. Are these people that are positive and positive influence? Are you in the wrong organization? Are you hanging out with positive people? Are you out meeting people so you can make those contacts? Because most people get a job through contacts. And are you being positive? Are you going around, oh my God, this is terrible, my life is terrible, it's not fair, Let me tell you, at the end of the day, it's kind of like working at Disney. I do it anyway, but I said to people at Disney, you don't have to be happy to work at Disney, you got to act happy for 8 hours.